welcome back to our tutorial in the fundamentals of programming and the Java programming language. So last time we discussed how to perform operations on the 6 numerical primitive data types, but there are other data types. It's just that these are not numerical values. So there's 3 other data types we're going to explain here. I'm going to type them out and give them variable names, and then we will discuss them. So the first one I'm going to type out is char. I'm going to call it A and set it equal to A. The next one is a string, and I'm going to call it first word ever, and have it equal to, let's try my name, which is Jeffrey. All right. Then the next one is the boolean, which is very interesting, and I'll call it option and set it equal to true. All right, look at all that just got thrown at you. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the first one is very simple. It's called char, it stands for character, and it literally means just a single character. So A. So we can actually print that out to the console. Well, actually, I want to do all of these at once and then have them printed out. So remember, char is just a single character. Very interesting and simple. All right, so string, first word, equals Jeffrey. All right, so a string is what we saw in the beginning when we had hello universe typed in here instead. So a string is just a string of characters, an array of characters. So it's many chars in one. So this one builds onto this one. So char and string. Single character, many characters. All right, then we come down to the boolean, and I have it named option, and it's set equal to, look at that, true. Now, a boolean can be set equal to either true or false. So I will have this one, option 2, set to false. So just remember, a boolean is true or false. That is logic. So it's getting interesting now, and it's called logic. So now let's print out all of these and see what they do. So first, I'm going to have system.out.println. Now, I'm going to do something very interesting here. You can add numbers together, but you can also do what is called concatenation and add strings and characters together and have them printed out in a sequence. So first, I'm going to type the character A, and then I'm going to have the plus symbol and operator and have it added to the first word ever. Now, that's strange. What is that going to do? Well, these aren't numbers, so you can't add A to Jeffrey, and it may seem like, okay, well, the A is going to be added into the sequence of letters in the string, but not necessarily. So I'm going to show you, and it will be if I do not add what I want to add right here, and that's a space. So you can just add blank spaces by typing a space in there and concatenating another section. So this is called concatenation. When you have a string value or a char value, and you have A, then you have plus this empty space right here, and you just simply type that in there and the computer will recognize that. So concatenation, when you add these things that aren't numbers right here. Okay, so now let's run this program and see what we get. All right, so we get a Jeffrey. So I'm a Jeffrey. All right, so A, Jeffrey. So now we can see what is actually happening here. Okay, character A, the variable holds the single character A because it is a char. It can only hold a single character, and that's A. So then string first word ever is equal to Jeffrey. So when we add this space in between here, you can see it's added the space, so it's spaced out. And I'll show you what happens when you take it away, but then you're concatenating this first word ever onto the end of that sentence. Well, it's just a phrase really, but just adding that onto the end of there. So we see that we can add things together. They're not necessarily coming together like numbers, but they are being added to the same sequence. So now I can get rid of this space right here and these concatenations and just have one. And I can rerun the program, and you'll see that the A will be right up against the J, and it'll be one word. So, Jeffrey. So that's very interesting. So we can add in spaces and we can take them away when we want to. You can see what you can do with that. Maybe you can make a word processing program, just all sorts of things. So that's what happens, and you can concatenate things that aren't numbers, and that's very interesting. So now let's get to these booleans right here. These are the most exciting ones because they have to do with logic, and logic is what programming is all about. So let's actually display these booleans down here and see what we get when we print out true and false. So let's print out, and we actually don't have to get rid of that. Let's print out the first boolean, which is option, and let's actually concatenate it with option 2. We can't do that. Now, I did that on purpose. Now, why can't we do that? Well, it cannot be applied to boolean, this operator. So I said you can concatenate a character, and I said you can concatenate these strings, and you can also concatenate add numbers together, but you cannot concatenate these because, well, they have to do with logic, so duh, you can't do that. All right, so now that we've proven that point, let's print out this option, and since this boolean is set to true, what should we see? Well, let's see. All right, so true. Now, this boolean is set to true. So boolean is either true or false, and it's set to true here, so we get true. Now we can also do option 1, and we'll have to print out another one. Now that we realize we cannot concatenate those. So option 2. All right, so now let's see what we get when we run this program. We will indeed get true and false here. See, true and false. So booleans are true and false values. They are logical data types. This is a logical data type. And the char is a single character, and strings are an array of characters. So that's all, folks, and thank you for watching this fabulous tutorial, and I'll see you in the next episode where we'll learn something even more exciting. Thank you, and have a nice day.